Okay, this is this video documentation, which is the entity's engagement in ongoing threats to my life and safety. And the entity is doing that right now at what is 11:07 a.m. I'm in my bedroom, and the entity is amplifying the clapping sound of the helicopter while I'm uploading the video that I just captured throughout this morning from between 8 to currently it's 11:07. And so while I'm uploading this, and again, as I stepped out of my office, I caught LAPD group stalking in the sky space, and I caught those two videos. Capturing FedEx, capturing Kum Lee, capturing the third party in the white SUV, capturing Smart Janitorial, all of whom are subject to federal prison. They're going to federal prison. They are jointly posing an impermissible threat, independent grounds of federal prison. I just want to be clear, you're also looking at the impossible light that's inside of my apartment while the entity is maintaining a light source, which is not possibly the sun. That's how you see this, because it's not the sun, while the sun is maintained in an entirely distinct location, which is nowhere near Alvarado Gardens or my living room. There would never be any sunlight, but you also know that this isn't sunlight. This is magnified light that's coming through closed blinds at a downward trajectory underneath the cover. The window is also covered, understand, it's also covered. The entity engages, this is demonic, it engages in gymnastics, and this would never occur under any circumstances if it was the actual sun anyway. Sunlight's not going to appear in here. If the blinds are closed, you're not going to have sunlight that's creeping in under a structure and then also slapping on the ground. The entity is creating the form of what the engineered light is hitting. The entity is clapping the loud sound of helicopter activity. That's going for the increased term in federal prison for all of the aforementioned vicarious actors, including the third party group stalker who will be identified at federal prosecution. Present, engaging in criminal activity creation, engaging in state terrorism, and with a commercial means representing FedEx, engaging in federal group stalking and monitoring, engaging in what is terrorism. So that's going for the prolonged term in federal prison. The entity engages in such acts of obstruction of justice, threatening your life and safety while you document it, and they're doing it in a specific environment. And so I'm going to document that as well. They're also doing so inside of my private space, which is a sex offense that they're engaging in, and these are the links to which the entity goes while you document. There would be no light here if the actual sun is, for example, captured over me at the Montclair Transit Center as I documented, as I reminded you about. All right, this is the ongoing P.O.C. LAPD following to my apartment in order to communicate a threat by helicopter activity because they are monitoring with the LAPD. All right, and the entity is going to serve time in federal prison for that. They're threatening together, and the entity is incapable of protecting the entity that's stalking vicariously on behalf. And this criminal conduct is going against the entirety of the people of the state. So when you are prosecuting, for example, any third-party group stalker, I'm going to prosecute Mary Jane, who's a third-party group stalker who I have identified at Holt Boulevard and Euclid Avenue by license plate. She's going to be prosecuted, and it's going under for what she has engaged in. You don't cease to be a part of the same entity because I go to a different city. The state is monitoring through the people of the state, the numerosity, the various faces. They are all one entity, and you will be prosecuted for engaging in that criminal act that's committed by the entity, repeatedly threatening my life. That's going against you. It's going on your criminal record. So I just want to make sure I document that. It's 11:10 a.m. and I'm inside of my apartment. The entity follows with the helicopter activity to specifically communicate a threat. And you already know that that's within the pattern of conduct. And just as a note, the entity was group stalking, maintaining that light source. That was 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 4 hours later, and you still have what is supposed to be sunlight. Again, it's an implausible, unintelligent illusion as to sun and sunlight because of all of what I just described, the fact its location, the sun is above, not beside, not shooting, like none of that. And also it's in an entirely different location at the same time. But in addition, the entity you're talking about just duration of time as you isolate it here. So always go through that ongoing analysis because it surrounds what the people of the state are doing. Kum Lee, Smart Janitorial, FedEx, the third party in the white SUV, they're all going to federal prison and they're monitoring in concert with the state who is providing ongoing evidence. I'm going to play this tape speaking to the threat that FedEx jointly poses with the state while they act to obstruct justice as I document FedEx, which is the entity's pattern of conduct. It is again 11:11 a.m. This is P.O.C.